I'd like to call the meeting to order. Would you do a roll call, please?
Thank you.
Belsley.
Here.
Dobb.
Here.
Hare.
Here.
Herman.
Here.
Kaufman.
Here.
Newhouse.
Here.
You have a forum.
Pledge allegiance to the flag, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. There are no public hearings tonight or special reports, but this is the part of the meeting where we invite anyone in the audience who would like to speak. They may step forward and speak. Mr. Patel?
Hello, my name is Ashish Patel. I'm the owner of the Yogi's Liquor, and we are against for the new writing of reordinance for the liquor license. Back in 2008, we were here, and the liquor license was issued to the Kroger's and Walmart, and since then, our business has been suffered a lot. And today, even in this economy, we were not at the number we were in 2008. I mean, we are a liquor store. We have beer, wine, and cigarette and liquor to sell. Kroger's, Walmart, they have pharmacy, they have produce. They can sell a lot of other stuff besides than liquor and beer. So my request for the board member is that please reconsider this again. This is our small mom and pop store, and that's all we have right now to live it. We cannot afford any more competition as already has been in the future. When we bought the store in 2007, we were thinking, we are the only one, that's fine. We understood the Walmart and Kroger, that's okay, we can still live by it. But now today the CVS is here, tomorrow will be Walgreens, and down the road, who knows who's going to be asking for the liquor license. If you redo the ordinance, somebody else can qualify it, and they can come in town and say, here, we need a license. I do understand it is a free enterprise business. Competition is good. But, we are not there. This is Morton. We are not Peoria or East Peoria where we can support more and more liquor license, This is mom and pop store. Please take my request, humble request, reconsider this about the liquor license, and do us a favor. Thank you.
Thank you. Would you like to speak? Would anyone in the audience or any of the board members like to take anything off the consent agenda? We're going to approve the minutes and the bills and our ordinance that we approve every year for the prevailing wage rate. There being none, could I have a motion?
Move approval, Your Honor.
Kaufman. Second, Newhouse. Any discussion on the items? If there isn't any, let's call a vote.
Belsley.
Yes.
Dobb.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Herman.
Yes.
Kaufman.
Yes.
Newhouse.
Yes.
I have nothing tonight. How about the village clerk?
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Village administrator.
Tonight, I'm asking approval to transfer $3,000 from the general fund to the capital projects fund.
So moved.
Second.
Second by Sam.
Dobb.
Yes.
It's all right.
Hare.
Yes.
Herman.
Yes.
Kaufman.
Yes.
Newhouse.
Yes.
Belsley.
Yes.
The second item on my list is resolution number 514. I'm actually going to pull that for this evening. We have a few more things to work out to get that contract ready for all of you to approve, so I expect to have that at the next meeting.
Do you have anything else?
I do not.
Chief of Police,
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Corporate Counsel.
Yes, pursuant to direction, I have prepared two ordinances. They are not related in any fashion. That's why they're separate. They stand independent of one another. The first proposed one is 14-06, which presently in our ordinance under A1 licenses, B1 licenses, and D licenses, there is a provision that states the license cannot be issued to any place that sells gasoline. I think it's been sort of discussed in the past when we put in Kroger and Walmart that perhaps that ordinance was, that provision is not defendable in court. I think originally it was in the liquor license many, many years ago. Subsequent to the first writing of the liquor license, there's been a case by a court which specifically held that is not a valid restriction because the legislature has not given permission to non-home rule municipalities to use that as a criteria. Subsequent court decisions have followed that line of thinking. What we do have in there are the restrictions that the legislature has deemed are appropriate, but they have nothing to do with gasoline. They only apply to schools, churches, that type of thing, but the state statute is riddled with more exceptions. Every time someone with some pull wants it changed, you have a lot of changes. Since it was brought up at the last meeting, I thought it important that, and the mayor did too, that we bring it up for discussion. Again, it has nothing to do with the next ordinance.
Any questions of the council?
Council, would this be different if we were home rule?
I think, yes, you'd have more latitude. Again, as a non-home rule, you can only do and regulate based on what the state legislature says you can. Although the village has wide latitude in regulating licenses and the number of licenses, this is not one of the criteria that they've deemed worthy of, say, exclusion. Just another example of how non-home rule is restricted.
Any other questions?
Can you provide a little background, maybe when that restriction was put in the ordinance? That what was the prevailing thought or the discussion? I guess the concerns. I mean, it's maybe over obvious to draw the conclusion that it was too easy to have open liquor in an automobile, or was there other concerns?
I think that's it. I quite honestly, I mean, let's be realistic here. I could drive over to this gentleman's store, go in and buy one of these little bottles and jump in my car and drink it. So I don't know. Perhaps that's why it's never got through the legislature.
So basically what we're doing with this ordinance is just cleaning up our ordinance. This doesn't establish anything
No, correct.
new. Okay.
And based on the cleaning up on it, it would not, contrary to what someone might think, it would not allow a gas station to get a liquor license because of our other provisions that we have in there that would be restrictive of that based on percentage of sales, square footage, and other things. Fair enough.
Well, yes, and even more importantly, it's based on the concept that even as a non-home rule, you have authority to regulate how many liquor licenses you have.
Good, okay.
Whether you decide, of course, there's a referendum, it'd be for 0, but you decide if it's 10, 20, 30, whatever, that's totally
Good.
within your purview.
I would move approval of ordinance 14-06.
Have a second?
I'll second it.
Tom, was that you, Tom?
Huh, yeah.
Tom. Yeah. Call it.
Hair.
Discussion.
Oh,
You need a motion and a second to have discussion.
I'm sorry, I thought we had the discussion first.
previous discussion.
Is there anybody that would like to discuss?
I'm probably not being very consistent here. I'm basically a free market capitalist, but I have some difficulty with the proliferation of retail sales of wine and beer and other liquors based on community standards. And I'm reminded of the Supreme Court justice once in a case related to pornography was challenged to define it. And he said, I don't know that I can define it, but I know it when I see it. And I don't know that I can precisely define the difficulty with it or define community standards, but I think I know them when I see them. And I have some difficulty with this. I note that advice from council indicates that the non-home rule communities are not provided to prevent it, but neither are we specifically denied, and as I interpret it. And so I'm not sure that I'm ready to throw this out, and I guess my argument would be if somebody thinks we don't have the authority to do it, let them put their money up front and sue us and prove it. So I have some concerns about it.
Any other discussion?
What if the legislature someday down the road does allow this and we've negated it, by approving this ordinance?
Pardon?
Council, what if the legislature would allow this as an exemption in the future and we've already negated it by approving
Well, I
this?
would say whether they added this or anything else as a restriction, it would be brought to your attention, and you would decide if you wanted to add it. Let's say they put in, although the trend is less restrictions, if they did have more, you would have the right to add whatever they added.
But nevertheless, as our ordinance stands now, they could not get a license because they do not meet the other requirements. Square
The other
footage
Yes.
and percent of their sales that are
Yeah.
groceries, et cetera. I mean, as long as we don't change any other part of our ordinance, they don't qualify.
Well, and also we have the power of the number of liquor
Yeah.
licenses.
There are no more
Right, right,
licenses.
Right. I do think that back when we talked about this originally, it was the appearance of drinking and driving. It would just be so readily available, but I understand yeah. I do appreciate Steve's point, though, about community standards. We don't have it, but we won't have it unless we decide that we wanted to.
Correct.
Any more comments, questions? Sam's teasing me. We have a motion and a second. Would you call it, please?
Hare,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Kaufman,
Yes.
Newhouse.
No.
Belsley,
Yes.
Dobb.
Yes.
Okay, the next ordinance was prepared pursuant to the request last meeting by CBS. What has been written proposes to do two things. One, add a Class I license. I would think Trustee Belsley pointed out the wording there is a little awkward. I would suggest where it says product is a pharmacy, say product is pharmaceutical related. I think that word reads a little better. So it would create a license for the store that had that as its focus and had a minimum of 10,000 square feet. The second part is would create one license for that. As I indicated in another memo, I'm not here saying this is the only way to do it. There's several different ways. This is probably the simplest way to do it. And that basically would be what's proposed at this point. I don't think there's any immediate need, but if discussion.
But that's what you're proposing.
Right.
Okay. Can we have a motion to get it on the table?
I'll move to put it on the table.
Second?
Second, Kaufman, second. Now, let's have some discussion on this.
I'll go first. I think, Steve, I think you kind of hit it on the head for me. At first, when I thought this through, as far as the free market, capitalism, all of those things I'm a firm believer in. My one problem that I come back to is that we have taken some steps recently to hurt local businesses indirectly because of the standards that we wanted to put in place as a board. This would further hurt local businesses. And that's the part that I can't get over and that I cling on to, where even though competition is good, Mr. Patel even brought that up, but for me, I'd rather see locally owned businesses do better, and specifically inside the community of Morton, be doing better, and for us not to be putting them at another disadvantage. That's where I stand on it.
Any other comments?
Basically the same community standards argument that I made before. I think we agreed to the wine and beer sales in grocery stores, partly on the premise that you can make a good argument for wine and beer going with food. I go to the pharmacy for my pharmaceuticals, and I don't find beer and wine to be a good match there, nor with gasoline or other kinds of things. It is not particularly rational with my other standards for economic development and for free market capitalism. But I think there is a quality about Morton that fits into the picture, and in my mind, the proliferation of wine and beer sales is not a good fit with that. If it were purely a question of protectionism, I'd vote yes in a minute. Otherwise, absolutely a free market capitalist. But I think that every place you go, selling wine and beer is tacky. I've been in those environments. I don't like tacky, and I don't like the idea. So that's probably give you an indication of how I will vote.
Anyone else like to make a comment?
I just want to echo what Sam said about supporting our local businesses. We showed lack of support previously, and I think we need to do that, not bow to a national concern.
Your Honor, as promised, I did go back and review the meetings where we created the grocery store licenses, the Class D licenses, and that was a result of weeks, if not months, of compromise with the understanding that Morton could probably benefit from having beer and wine sales in the grocery stores. And kind of with the understanding that that was it. We didn't really want a proliferation. I would like to also support our small businesses, and in this case, it is something that we can control locally with the local liquor commissioner, as opposed to some other instances where we maybe wouldn't have control. So I too want to see our small businesses be successful. And I just had asked myself, do we really need another liquor license? And in my mind, I don't think that we do.
Anyone else?
I have a little different perspective on that. I, of course, support community standards, but I thought long and hard about this issue as well, and I'm a firm believer in free enterprise as well. And when you look at the request, and I think it was our last meeting that the mayor shared that we have 28 licenses out there now, liquor licenses, in the community, restaurants, clubs, bars, the grocery stores. And I guess I look at this as that unlike, I'll bring it up, the issue of video gaming, that is not allowed right now currently in the village of Morton. This issue, when we talk about community standards, there's the sale of liquor at a number of establishments has been common for years in the village of Morton. And I struggle with seeing how we're going to draw the line in the sand with this to say no to a business that is adjacent to another business. They share the same zoning, they share the same parking lot, and if a customer wants to go in and get something at the pharmaceutical store, he also has that option to go to the grocery store next door and pick up packaged liquor as well. I struggle with seeing where we're trying to create the basis for denial here. I mean, again, we all support community standards, but I think it's a totally different situation than what we addressed with video gaming. That, again, it's not allowed in the village, and if it had been allowed and exists today, I might have, be rethinking my position from my vote previously on that as well. But back to this matter, I guess I use that as an analogy. I just really struggle with, based on free enterprise and the location of the business, the current zoning, I struggle with denying them the opportunity to be granted a license, as long as it's controlled and regulated with some of the conditions and restrictions that we currently have in our ordinance that it would fall in. So with that, I would support that.
Any other comments? Call it.
Your Honor.
Yes.
I don't think we have a motion, do we?
Yes, we
Yeah,
do.
we did.
Yes, we
I'm
did.
sorry.
This, as it's written right here now, does not include any of the restrictions that we have for the Class D license, does it?
Not as written, that's part of the discussion.
Okay,
So-
maybe then, because when I mentioned that previously, thank you for bringing that up, I assumed, the way it was written tonight, that it would fall under the same restrictions as the grocery store ordinance, but you're saying
Well,
it
then
doesn't?
we need to add the same restrictions as Class D
Okay.
with an amendment.
We don't have a motion. Do we want to do a motion to amend before we vote?
Yes, I think,
Can I have a motion
I
to
would make a
amend this?
motion to amend.
Belsley? Second?
Well, I think we just need to amend our first and second. We could clear it up, couldn't we?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So if Sam amends his, then I'll amend
I'll
mine.
move mine.
okay.
I'll amend my move.
And I will so move similar to Sam.
So that it will be what council read, except that it will have other restrictions.
The Class D.
same restrictions as
Class D
Class
is
D, which is Kroger and Walmart.
Okay. Does everyone understand those restrictions?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to try this one more time. Call the question.
Herman,
No.
Kaufman,
Yes.
Newhouse,
No.
Belsley,
Yes.
Dobb,
No.
Hare.
No.
The motion fails, and based on the rationale that everyone gave, I don't think there's much point in council trying to rewrite this and bring it back. This is a dead issue. Does everyone
I
So I
agree.
get a kind of a consensus of that? All right, thanks. Director of Fire and Emergency Services,
Nothing this evening, Your Honor.
Director of Public Works.
I have several items tonight that I'm asking for your approval.
Go.
Item A, I'm asking for acceptance of bid for the 2014 Street Overlay Program in the amount of $1,246,698.79 and award of contract for same to R.A. Cullinan Incorporated. I will preface that that is about $15,000 above my budgeted amount, or 1.3%. I had a conversation with the mayor and trustee Kaufman, and still feel like at this point we should move forward with this.
Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Second by Dobb. Any discussion?
Yes, Your Honor. The number that you read is different than the number There's two, yeah, which one are we going with here?
If you look on the sheet there, we always include an item for a credit to retain the millings when they mill
Okay,
of $1 per ton to retain them.
okay,
We're not gonna retain them since I'm over anyway, so we're just gonna keep it at the 1.246 instead of the 1.249 that's shown there, if that makes sense.
got it, thank you.
Call it.
Kaufman.
Yes.
Newhouse.
Yes.
Belsley.
Yes.
Dobb.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Herman.
Yes,
B.
Item B, I'd like to ask for permission to waive formal bidding and acceptance of bid from CIT Group Incorporated for a Kenworth cab and chassis for the street department in the amount of $76,560. This does include the trade of the 2001 Sterling truck that's currently in the street department.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? I generally don't like to see a waiver of bid, but I was persuaded by the analysis that was done.
Compelling argument, Your Honor.
Yes. Call it.
Newhouse.
Yes.
Belsley.
Yes.
Dobb.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Herman.
yes,
Kaufman.
Yes.
C.
Item C, which is for the previous truck, I'd like to ask for permission to waive formal bidding and acceptance of bid from Koenig Body and Equipment Incorporated for the dump body, hydraulics, and snowplow for the street department in the amount of $70,894. I will add that we had budgeted $150,000. If you add those two together, we're about $3,000 under the budget amount for it.
So moved.
Second. Dobb. Discussion? Call it.
Belsley.
Yes.
Dobb.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Herman.
yes,
Kaufman.
Yes.
Newhouse.
Yes.
Item D.
Item D, I'd like to ask for permission to waive formal bidding and acceptance of bid from EnviroSite for the Rover Desktop Command Center for the wastewater department in the amount of $20,000. This item is compatible to the camera that we had purchased previously, and we had budgeted $20,000 for this during our budget session.
Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Belsley, second.
Second.
Sam. Discussion? Call it.
Dobb.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Herman.
yes,
Kaufman.
Yes.
Newhouse.
Yes.
Belsley.
Yes.
Item E.
Item E, I'd like to ask for acceptance of bid from Altorfer Incorporated for a 2014 tractor loader backhoe for the street department in the amount of $37,374. This includes guaranteed buyback trade, and it's about $10,000 under our budgeted amount.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Call it.
Hare.
Yes.
Herman.
yes,
Kaufman.
Yes.
Newhouse.
Yes.
Belsley.
Yes.
Dobb.
Yes.
Next.
Item F, I'd like to ask for acceptance of bid from Bob Grimm Chevrolet Incorporated for a 2014 heavy-duty one-ton cab and chassis for the water distribution department in the amount of $18,530. This includes trade.
so moved,
Herman, second. Newhouse. Discussion?
I will add that we did have one bidder. One of the other local dealers showed up 20 minutes late with their bid, so we did not accept that bid. So if you look in your sheet there, there's only one bidder for that. We still felt like this was a really good deal, and we should move forward with it.
Call it.
Herman.
yes,
Kaufman.
Yes.
Newhouse.
Yes.
Belsley.
Yes.
Dobb.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Last item.
Last item, same thing. This is for the previous truck for the water distribution department. This is item G. I'm asking for permission to waive formal bidding and acceptance of bid from PAFCO Truck Bodies Incorporated for a truck body utility box for the water distribution department in the amount of $13,706. With those two amounts together, we're still about $10,000 under the budgeted amount for that. And this is the front line truck for our water distribution department. So water leaks, everything, this is the truck that's out there on the streets.
So moved.
Second. Newhouse. Discussion? Vote.
Kaufman.
Yes.
Newhouse.
Yes.
Belsley.
Yes.
Cobb.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Herman.
Yes.
That's all I have
Thank you.
tonight. Thanks.
Planning and zoning.
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Trustee Belsley.
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Trustee Dobb.
Nothing tonight.
Trustee Hare.
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Trustee Herman.
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Trustee Kaufman.
Nothing tonight.
Trustee Newhouse.
One informational item, Your Honor, just a reminder to everybody that a week from Tuesday, the Morton Economic Development Council and Community expedition to Switzerland departs. I will miss the next meeting. That trip is about 80% tourism and about 20% business, which will involve the potential for either customers for existing Morton businesses or potential new investment in Morton. It includes business contacts with Nestle, is headquartered in Vevey, Switzerland, and with businesses in Germany and Austria, one of which is already investing in Morton. I have a meeting scheduled with the representative of the Vevey government, courtesy visit, I think we'll call it at this point. About 13 of our fellow citizens are going on this trip. It's a little smaller than the China trips. Gone 10 days, and just in case the question comes up again, everybody pays his own fare except the Economic Development Council person who has a specific assignment on behalf of the council and is the principal business contact. But otherwise, the rest of us are, for the most part, tourists with one or two exceptions. And we look forward to coming back with a good report.
If you can get Vevey to be a sister city, you will get a gold star.
Well, we're going to discuss that. And my contact there, Monsieur Belif, is an administrator for the municipality. Is interested in the idea, but Vevey is concerned that any such initiative is sustainable. So there will be some discussion about it, but that would be an excellent opportunity if we can make it happen. And incidentally, Vevey is, even though it's part of French-speaking Switzerland, it is right on the edge of the area from which so many old Morton Swiss-German names come, and within 50 miles probably of an area that half the population of Morton can probably find a family connection with. So there is a natural link in addition to Nestle. So I'm looking forward to a good discussion, and I hope to come back with, as I said, with a good report. And I'll see everybody at the first meeting in July.
Terrific. I am going to have to ask for an executive session. Only the Director of Human Resources, AKA Administrator, and the Head of Emergency Services need stay. There will be no action after this, so everyone can leave comfortably. Can I have a motion to go into executive session, please? Second. All in favor, get up and go in the other room.
We have to call it.
Do we have to call it?
Sam, did you move?
Yes. Yeah.
Newhouse.
Yes.
Belsley.
Yes.
Dobb.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Herman. Yes. Kaufman.